Hi there, Mr. President.
How are you? Hey, Tony, how are you, pal? Good to see you.
Yeah. Yes, really good to see you.
So,
I
Mr.
should be
President,
sitting immediately to your right. I'm only a couple hundred yards away. I apologize in advance.
yeah, Mr. President, thank you for joining us. As you know, we have the delegation from SK here. We're thrilled to have you here at the White House and to discuss this very significant announcement of investment that SK is making today. With your permission, Mr. President, I will just turn the floor to Chairman Che to brief you and update you directly on the announcement that they're making today, and then we can get into the conversation.
It's a big announcement. Take as long as you need, Tony.
Thank you. Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Biden. Yeah, President Biden. I know I speak for the people of the South Korea in wishing you the speed recovery. And I would like to express my sincere gratitude for this opportunity to discuss our current and future cooperation in manufacturing critical technologies in U.S. And thank you also, Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo and Director of National Economic Council Brian Dees, and for your support of our investment in the United States. And we are also grateful for the strong partnerships we have formed across your administration, in Congress, and in many state government, that will help make our investment happen. So tomorrow, we will commemorate 69 years since the end of the Korean War. So the American and Korean relationship is deep and long-standing. So our countries fought side by side during the terrible conflict. And now we are walk side by side to build the technologies and infrastructures that will power the 21st century economy around the world. So SK's commitment to grow and invest in Korea is enduring. But today, though, we are here to talk about the investment in US. So our cooperation will make the supply chain in both our countries more resilient in critical technologies. And the SK Group commitment to the United States runs deep. And we have backed that commitment with a $22 billion of investment in US in recent years. Today, we are announcing another $22 billion in new investment in the US. So including the major investment in semiconductor, EV batteries, and biotechnology. Well, this means that SK will invest nearly $30 billion going forward, expanding on our recent announcement of $7 billion investment in EV batteries. And so SK will invest at half of our total investment amount in the US in semiconductor ecosystem. Well, this money will fund R&D programs in partnership with the leading American universities and establish an advanced packaging fab in the US. Well, these initiatives will contribute to developing the next generation of memory chips, which will benefit the entire US high-tech industry. So President Biden, we share your commitment to green energy. In addition to our new EV battery factories in Georgia, so we will investing more $7 billion more out of the total our JV investment amount of the $14 billion to build 2 new gigafactory in Tennessee and Kentucky as a part of our joint venture with the Ford Motor Company. So we will invest an additional $5 billion in other green energy businesses, including the ultra-fast EV charging system, the green hydrogen, and battery materials recycling, and also small molecular reactors. Also, our investment will expand the facility in the US in bioscience and the biopharmaceutical sectors. We believe our initiatives will contribute to strengthen the US supply chain resilience and to address the climate change. So we are sincerely grateful to your administration's continued support in our shared prosperity. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Tony, and to your delegation. This is, as someone once said in a similar circle, this is a big deal. This is really, really consequential. And, I'm sorry, as I said, I'm not with you in person, but I wanted to make sure that to personally thank you for this historic announcement. This path-breaking announcement represents clear evidence that the United States, Korea, and its allies are back and winning the technology competition of the 21st century. For folks at home, the SK Group is the second largest conglomerate in South Korea. And since I've been president, it has made significant investments in the United States. SK has already committed $30 billion in investment here, and today they're announcing another $22 billion in addition. That'll grow their US workforce from 4,000 to 20,000 workers by 2025. Investing in a range of advanced technologies, some of which Tony already mentioned, from semiconductors to large capacity batteries to electric vehicle chargers and to pharmaceuticals. And partnering with an iconic American company like Ford and Intel. This is incredible. Further proof that America is open for business. Proof that we're meeting the emergency and the climate crisis with urgency and opportunity and innovation to save the planet and create good paying jobs and benefit both our countries. We're investing more than $1 trillion in the United States to modernize our infrastructure, including 500,000 electric charging stations across America. Since I came to office, we've seen more than $200 billion in private sector energy investment in electric vehicles, advanced batteries, and semiconductors. Construction of overall manufacturing facilities in America has increased by 116%. And this is only going to add to that, Tony. Thank you. And the construction in America means jobs in it for Americans. Since I've been in office, the economy has created 613,000 overall manufacturing jobs, just manufacturing jobs. Today's announcement is also proof that America is back to working with our allies. By uniting our skills and innovation, we will be able to manufacture the technologies that create the critical changes that are needed, both for both our countries. During my visit to South Korea in May, when I got to sit at the table across from Tony, it was a crowded room, I toured Samsung's campus with President Yoon. And I saw how the factory there is manufacturing advanced semiconductor chips and is committing $17 billion to build a similar factory here in America. In Seoul, I met with the chairman of Hyundai, and we announced $10 billion in new investments in American manufacturing, including $5.5 billion investment for an advanced automotive factory near Savannah, Georgia, where SK is also going to be investing and creating more than 8,000 jobs. In the past, these kinds of technology investments went to China. Today, under my administration, these technology investments are coming to the United States. We're talking about some of the most significant investments we've ever seen in our country. America is the key destination for advanced technologies. And it's that kind of proactive engagement that reminds me one of the benefits of investing in the United States. And that is the opportunity to partner with some of the most highly skilled, dedicated, and engaged workers in the world, American union members. And look, just yesterday, I met with members of my economic and national security teams and CEOs and labor leaders to highlight the urgency of getting the bipartisan CHIPS Act to my desk. And today, the Senate took a very important bipartisan step to get us closer. They in fact met the cloture requirement. And getting that bill to my desk is much closer now, because this really matters. Let me close with this. You know, Tony, you and your team, I want to thank you for being here at the White House. And again, I feel so badly. I'm so close to you, but because I'm in the last day of having been diagnosed with COVID, I'm feeling great. I hope it comes across that way as well. I hope I look as great as I feel here. But you know, and you're well, you know what I mean. I hope that sounded awful, didn't it? I never look that good. I hope I look as good as I usually do, which is not that good. And look, but but I want to thank you for being in the White House and for your investment in American workers, our greatest resource. And Tony, as you begin the rest of the meeting today, what more do you think we can do to keep this momentum going?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. And it is really my pleasure being in here. And even though you're not in person with me, but close to enough.
I can walk out on the balcony and holler to you.
Thank you. But you certainly don't have to sell us on investing in the US. Because we are already committed about $30 billion and $22 billion in a pipeline.
Yep.
Well, we'll create that tens of thousands of highly paid and highly skilled jobs. But we believe our view is the United States as our most important business partners. But one thing we can work together as building a skillful workforce that'll be the crucial for the ensuring that America has a type of worker necessary to lead the next generation, the manufacturing economy. So we will work closely with the state and the community colleges to help ensure that workers know what they need to know to lead the jobs in our facility. The federal, state, and the local coordination and the deeper investment in job training would help other companies to find the skill set they need and invest more here in US as well. So we look forward to working with you, Mr. President, and on advancing the workforce, the training in the coming years. That's one thing. But here is another things I want to mention to you is, well, I'd like to actually emphasizing some partnerships. So among the company and the nonprofit organization in US and Korea, so we believe the collaboration among the organization of the two countries will motivate them to invest more across the border. So for example, I will give you some example that SK work closely with Novavax as one of the US pharmaceutical company to develop the produce and the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yes.
As a result of the co-investing in R&D and the production capacity. One other example is as a recent matter as SK is also partnering with the Gates Foundation and the University of Washington to develop the new COVID vaccine. This is a new one.
Yes.
So this is a kind of proven collaboration model that can boost the investment in the US. So, Mr. President, and we look forward to working with you, this fostering such a kind of partnership with you. So, thank you.
Well, it is a partnership, and we've been partners a long time. And as I think about it, I can remember the pictures of my uncle. Anyway, for people being sent from Korea back home when I was a kid. We've been partners a long time. And look, one of the things that I promise you we're going to do is we're going to continue to invest in the education side of this. to have, so you have the best trained, the best equipped workers in the world. I really mean it. And particularly with regard to our community colleges, which have great assets to bring to bear. And I think that I just see this as a beginning of so many more things we can do. And I can see that the secretary is smiling. She thinks it's a beginning too. I'm going to leave it to you guys to talk about. But anyway, thank you, all three of you. And again, I apologize for not being with you. Next time you come, I'm going to force you to have lunch with me in the Oval Office, so you can see what I don't do. You know, I mean, the Oval Office is lovely, but I'm all the way over here. I can't even be near you. Anyway, thanks again for everything. I really mean this. The way you treated our delegation when we've gone to Korea, to the Republic, the way we've hung together on foreign policy as matters of domestic and economic policy. I know that's not your responsibility, but your country has stepped up and is an enormous asset and ally. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.